Tony, you're going to start this off and then follow to your left. What is the most pressing issue for Union County in 2 minutes?
In 2 minutes?
Yeah, sorry.
Again, I think the most pressing issue is going to be this communication between the boards, between the town councils. Hello? My wife don't need one of these. That'd be a big one, but I need it. But the most pressing issue is going to be communication between the boards, between the elected officials, between the towns. It's something that you don't see much in Union County. For a name with Union County, there's so much division in the county. A lot of it comes from political aspirations. You know, if a mayor wants to run for commissioner or if somebody wants to run for school board, you get these political divisions. The biggest challenge that I've had after 8 years out of this is Facebook. I'm scared to death somebody's going to see something on Facebook they hate and not going to vote for me for it. So, having friends and talking to people is the way I get my information. When I don't feel like I'm getting good information, I go to another source. I actually had to go speak with the Department of Natural Resources, and I had to go talk to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I will find the information that I want, and I will find out what's going on. But when you go and tell somebody something, and you've got somebody out there saying that you're a liar, and you're giving good information, it's kind of hard for other people to believe, because somebody has their friends, this person has their friends, and you can't be, how can you be telling me the truth because you're a scoundrel or you're a scumbag? We've got to stop that. If we don't stop that, we're never going to get to the planning stages that we need to be in. We have to plan, and if you respect people, if you show them respect, and you show them that you're willing to work with them to meet their goals, then that's how it's going to be done. We don't have that right now, but hopefully we'll get to that point.
To the left. Go. Yeah.
In a nutshell, I think it's the rate of growth is the issue, and that is what is compounding several factors in Union County. Our rate of growth is what has led to the issues with our schools, our infrastructure, our water. The issue itself is all-encompassing. We have a rate that has just skyrocketed back before 2007. Our population increased very quickly, and our residential growth increased very quickly. So this had a huge impact on our schools and has led to the problems that we have today, which are endless. There's the judgment for $91 million. There's the communication issue, or lack thereof. There's kids moving schools and redistricting. Yes, I am 100% against it. I'm not happy about it. It is what has motivated me to get back into the game. And then you've got to have water and sewer to allow for the growth. People are coming here and they have needs. Businesses want to come here, but have been told they can't or are turned away from it because of water and sewer issues. We've got to find a way to streamline processes, bring everything under one roof, get our different groups and organizations talking together. We have very talented people working in Union County, very, very talented people and employees. We have about 5 or 6 very comprehensive plans that are all called master plans, but none of the plans talk about the other plans. They should all be under one roof. The water and sewer should encompass the schools. The schools should know what's going on with water and sewer. Our infrastructure, our roads, they're all under one roof. So our rate of growth has led to the problems that are now the biggest issue in Union County.
Sorry, if I can't have fun, that's my 2 minutes started. The biggest problem in Union County, that is the single question I ask when I sit down or have sat down with people across the entire county. And very few of them gave me the same answer. So I don't know if I can tell you what the single most pressing issue of Union County is. Because if you're depending on the sheriff and it's not available, or we can't keep talent because we aren't able to compete in the global market or in the local market. If you have a house fire, I just can't say that there's one particular thing. What it all stems from is we're behind the curve. And it's completely obvious from an infrastructure standpoint. The rate of growth that's been referenced up here, I'm a part of that. I came here at that time. If we can't create an equal balance between the services that we provide to the people that live in this county and do it in a smart and fiscal responsible way, we're never going to catch up. I don't care who you elect. And the only way you can do it is to sit down and be willing to have open, transparent, accountable communication. Sit down with each of the mayors of each of the towns, the municipalities. Sit down with the fire chief. Sit down with each one of these. Sit down with the sheriff and his deputy. Find out exactly where the pain points are. Get the brain trust that's been referenced up here to create a plan. Because I haven't seen a plan. I have a plan. Thank you.
I agree. There are lots of issues that need to be addressed, and it does depend on who you ask and on what day you ask the question. So if I were to sum up what I think is the most pressing issue at this point, I think it's probably our reputation. You can't turn on the TV or open a newspaper without seeing negative things about Union County because of everything that has gone on, and that is going to hurt us moving forward. It's going to hurt our ability to grow both commercially and in the residential market. It's going to stagnate that. Nobody's going to want to come here until we fix that. So I believe the political discord is hurting this county's future. We need to heal. We need to build relationships instead of pointing fingers at each other, and build trust. We're not a county that is a one-size-fits-all. We're very diverse. We need to embrace that diversity. And my team has actually come up with a platform of branding for that very purpose, and I think it's very timely considering everything that has been going on. So we need to roll our sleeves up and decide that we're going to work together instead of against each other. It doesn't matter who's to blame. What matters is where we go from here. So I think fixing our reputation is the most important thing at this point.
Everything else. I think that one of the most important issues right now is that we grow this great county economically to offset the top heaviness of the residential growth in the county. And I think that for me, one of the biggest issues that is holding the Union County back right now is the fact that the Board of Education is in a lawsuit with the County Commission. We have got to get that lawsuit settled. Businesses want to come here, they want to relocate, and the existing ones want to grow. And Union County must put forth the appearance, and not only the appearance, but it must show that we are stable and we're dependable in all of our services that we give to all of our residents. So I think that that if we can get that situation off of our plate and not loom it over our heads, we'll be able to move forward and do some of the other things that the candidates have discussed that are all important and contributing to the needs of the county.
Well, I agree with a lot of the points that have been made here this evening. Central Atlanta Council of Government says that based on a survey that we are the fastest growing region over 1 million population in the United States. So there's no question that people are coming here, and managing growth is at the top of the list. We are in the process right now of finishing up rewriting the Unified Development Ordinance. Long overdue. We have repaired our relationship with Lancaster County, and we're getting additional water that they don't use to come to Union County. Additional water. We just struck a deal with the town of Norwood for a 100-year water supply for Union County. One of the things we need to do is build consensus. We have 14 municipalities in the state of North Carolina, all with different ideas about how they ought to look and how they ought to grow. We've got to work together in order to do that. To manage growth, you've got to communicate, you've got to build consensus among your municipalities, and you've got to have the infrastructure available. Now, one of the issues we've got, as has been mentioned, we're 90% residential, 10% commercial. My question is, how are we going to pay for all this? How are we going to pay for the services? How are we going to pay for all the needs and the desires of the citizens, the schools and everything else, when we know, we all know, if you look at the data, that a rooftop doesn't pay its way? So that's my question.
Several of the candidates up here have keyed in on it. It is growth. And growth is a complex issue because growth ties into so many other issues that we have around the county. When you look at the growth, it's driven right now by businesses, a lot of them going into Charlotte. People are moving to Union County, which is growing the residential market. And as Jerry just mentioned, over 86% of our property taxes, our ad valorem taxes, are coming from residential. It is not sustainable. We need to get that down to a 60-40 ratio. That can be sustainable long term. You look at our water and sewer infrastructure, it needs to be improved. Right now, our water demand in 2011 was 10.5 million gallons per day. It's projected by 2030 that we will need over 22 million gallons a day for water. There is not enough infrastructure within Union County right now to be able to meet that demand. So we need to plan forward, we need to look ahead, and we need to be able to address these issues now because they're coming down the road. In addition to the infrastructure, you look at the schools. When you bring in residential growth, there is a large service demand that is placed on the county as a result of residential growth. And that's why that commercial development has to be brought in here. But unfortunately, because of the lack of communication, dysfunction, lawsuits that are going on right now within the county and in between municipalities, they do not want to come here. Union County is not a place for businesses right now, in their opinion. We know it's a great place to live and work. We want it to be a great place to live, work, and play. And long-term planning is key to everything, and that is a key issue that we need to deal with now. We can't keep kicking the can down the road. We need to deal with it now so that we don't have to worry about what happens 5, 10 years from now. We are planning for it and we're ready for it. Thank you.
How many of you are here because of growth? Every one of you, with a very few exceptions. Growth is positive. It's the managing of growth that's difficult. And that's where the task is. We can do better about that, there's no question. We have to work with all levels of the management and the government, the utilities and everything else. But more importantly, you need to understand that growth is positive. In 1970, we had 33,000 people in this county. How many we got now? 232,000. That growth has made Union County very strong and very good. And you made that happen. All we have to do now is managing the problems. Thank you.